John Dobson and Dan Duplessis. We'll take questions in the room first and then we'll go on to Zoom, guys. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, good evening, Dobbo. Good evening, Dan. Just commiserations on the defeat. First of all, Dobbo, a game of missed opportunities. You guys should have, let's be honest, you guys should have won this game today. But just your handling errors and execution, that cost you very dearly today.
100% right. I think we created so many try scoring opportunities. Listen, the Sharks probably bottled it through. Did 1 or 2, try have a rule down there. But no, we were, what's the word? I can't get it wrong now. Wasted 5. I mean, I can name 6 on the top of my head. You know, we should have. So that was probably the difference in the end. You know, I think. Obviously, we look back and thinking we won the game right at the end there, but I think for 3 months before that we'd lost the game, and we'd lost the game because of the errors we'd made up until then. I thought we were imperious in the second half, and so we had in 65 minutes I thought we got this game completely under control. What happened at the end was a bit of a bonus for us, if the truth be told. We'd scored a normal try, the conversion, the game was over. So. There was
just one positive from your side. I mean, the scrums, you guys really dominated. I mean, the heat and then the double shoves.
I thought we scrum well at the start. Thought they fought themselves back in. We gave away 2 or 3 penalties, which is disappointing. That we finished strongly. It was a high-level scrum contest. I was very pleased with the way we did it against their starting front row at the start. Very good. Ali Vermaak, he's like I keep saying, he's an unsung hero. I thought he was magnificent against Vince Oxen. It was a proper battle. So I thought we did well there. I thought we gave away too many penalties at the scrum.
Dobbo, for us Durbanites, it was like Christmas came early.
Oh, because of the present at the end.
Well, because of you just kept giving it.
Oh yeah, okay. Okay, fair play. I see what you're saying.
No, but I mean, what went through your mind? The game was won. Marnie scores, but he hasn't. Can you even begin to describe?
No, it's making me emotional. We just thought that's the Stormers we're so proud of, when Marnie went over, and this is what we fight for, starting with Brocky carrying 5 minutes from our line after Hooter. That's where we pride ourselves on the Stormers, and it finished as it should have finished. And we have to go back and look for something, and I mean, you can't, you can't describe the emotion of going from lost to one to lost. I listen, I don't want to sound arrogant, but I think you're a point, Mabine. I think we had a shout of saying we could have deserved to win that game, but no. Got to take your chances. But
I mean, you dominated the set scrums. I mean, Neathling versus Ox. I mean, there was some great victories, some good personal battles won out there. I mean, you must be really proud.
Was good. Lana was good. We mauled well. Stopped there. We got some. I mean, to be fair to the Shark, what happened was in that game was we gave away 6 penalties in the first 20 minutes. That gave them this territory in the 14 points, and once we stopped that. Then I think it really was. I mean, Andre scored Andre hasn't scored that try, but that came off us doing something just outside our try line. For the rest, I thought the second half was good.
Yeah, a few coach killers there when you've got a backline player who drops the ball with like an acre of try line. After the forward has done all the good work.
It's just hard now on the emotion of what happened and having necessary to look at process, but I think set the team now in the change room. There's lots to be hopeful about the Stormers because I think many people gave us a chance, and I think
that's it.
And I think looking back, we're probably unlucky to have lost it.
How did it change for you in terms of the game with the force sub of Sacha? How did it affect you, impacted you? I mean, the gameplay.
No, it was a hell of a blow. Just want to go and find out a bit more about it, but. We, as I said, the one advantage we had was we prepped all those players for 3 weeks. He goes off, and then we actually mess up 3 starters, started players. So they just didn't come off. It was a blow, and also with the 6-2, once you lose that, because then so we end up with the last 10, 12 with Herschel on the wing, 15 with Herschel on the wing. It's not a natural wing, and he almost goes and scores the winner. No, Sasha was a big disruption for us, but I think he's concussed.
Yeah, just update on it, Sergio.
I think he's concussed.
Is it okay?
Yeah, I can't account for the drop goal otherwise.
Just in terms of the other long-term injuries, I know obviously we had an update from Davi in the week. Just Stephen Kitsoff, have you guys got a medical report from him? Will he be able to play that?
It's just his operation, so I think it's a 4 to 6 week process before the. I know if it's fused strongly enough and that, so there won't be update for him at least a month.
And then just looking ahead of next week, Salman, Dion, Evan, are they back for Toulon next week?
Let me get this right. None are back next week. I think a couple are back for. Am I right? Saman, I'm not sure. No, none are back next week. Week after should be Saman and Dion, and then Evan's only in the new year.
Just on Kitse, because we've been hearing so many reports that his career in rugby might be over. Just maybe clear that one up. Is there any such thought that
Look, I didn't. You guys said that a lot of more. There seem to be a lot of informed people out there about a neck C1 C2 fusion, which is probably the most complex neck fusion there is. And anybody will tell you that it's going to see depends on the neck fuses. So the operations just happen. So you don't fuse a neck unless you think there's a chance of of doing. There's no. Otherwise, you just stop playing. Do you understand what I mean? You don't have the operation. You just call it quits and you stop playing. So so the fusion is done with a view to playing. We now have to wait to see if that works. It's a very risky. It's the worst place to have a neck fusion. No, it's too high. It's too high up. C1 and C2. So we have to respect. That's the process. We genuinely don't know. But he had the fusion for a reason. I say he could have walked away, but then he would never have played. If he had another operation. So we've got to see if the operation and what his main state of mind is after the operation as well.
Alright guys, we go to Zoom. Linton, yes Linton.
Thanks Mikey. Hello guys, commiserations there. What a into that game now. Dobson, if you're looking ahead now, you touch on maybe the players I think big thing, but there's the matter of the Champions Cup and how does this loss influence the next 2 weeks in terms of your team? Is it still full metal in both competitions?
Yeah, no, it hasn't changed anything for next week. I think obviously we're going to make sure in the URC like the first 3 seasons we get into the top 8. But no, we're going to respect the European competition next week. We're going for Toulon. We'll see what happens there. Obviously the 2 local home derbies on 21st, 28th are non-negotiable. Sorry, maybe just think about France Mahuba. I think is back next week. That's the only one. So no, it's full. It's full. We're not going to bail on Europe now because we've lost. As I said, this game wasn't in the budget. We knew we were to get a win. I mean, we knew we were coming to a hell of a good Sharks team and a good occasion. Springbok laden, and it's quite. So it wasn't like we. This was a derailment of any form. In fact, I saw a lot out there that gives me much more hope.
And yes, you've gone over the game. A lot of missed opportunities. But can I just get your take on Andre Esterhuizen's strike? She took a ball out of the ruck, placed it on Sia because Sia was just laying there. He couldn't put it at the mouth of the ruck. And then clearly over the ball, Pepsi Buthelezi clearly over the ball when Marty came in and he knocked that ball where the game was lost. Can I just have you had time to sort of think about what went wrong there, or was it good vibes?
Look, I haven't seen. I know Dan and them were frustrated on the field about the Herschel one. I actually haven't seen that properly. I haven't seen it again genuinely. Yeah, I felt at the end there maybe there were some bodies in the way, but it's going to look like carping. There's nothing I can say about it really. But I did feel so. I don't know how you get the ball out and they use it if there's a body in the way without lifting it. If you lift it, the ball's out and the opposition score a try. So that's something where probably worth just inquiring about. What do we do in this position? Anything towards the end of the game is going to look a bit like sour grapes.
And then we saw Ruki put his head into quite a bit of rucks looking for turnover ball. I think Paul was working with Amy on that as well. I saw him next to the field there. Is that sort of a role that you developing into because you're not really playing fetches up front, but more guys that can run with the ball?
Yeah, the Boogie's Warwick's got some amazing steals. It's something he's very brave. He enjoys it clearly, and he works on it as you saw in Paul. But it's not the ideal game model to have your 15 as your primary stealer. It is something we're lucky. The Dion and Evan and Kitsy were our top 3 in that. I'm not even being emotional, factually. They're just sheer numbers. They're our top 3 stealers. None of them are available, and we haven't really. KK's guy we think will get there. Paul Villiers will come. Brunners will be back. But I felt, especially in the first half, when they were down on the line, we let them get through. I think the build up to Sia's try, I thought there were 2 or 3 times we could have had a go at the ball. We just didn't have the personnel in the pack, you know, who genuinely try steal us. That's something our team is missing at the moment. Boogie's very good.
And if I can say that, that's where they probably beat you in the first half quite a lot with Sia, James,
100% right.
getting those steals to disrupt you there.
100% right. It's my department. We weren't good enough. Sometimes we were really good. You know, we got cleaned well past the ball, but there were 2 holding penalties and 2 stolen ones in the first half. And you're right, James and Sia. And that and the penalties, and that would put us under a lot of pressure in the first half.
So that the concussion to Sash, is it whiplash concussion? Do you know, or head contact, and that solves it all. 10-bit syndrome for the next couple of weeks most likely.
I don't want to solve it like that. But that was also interesting. Guy gets no head contact, but he's concussed. So I presume it must have been whiplash. I can't think what else it was, because he came straight off from that tackle. So but I know we'll have to. He'll go through the process. I know what you're saying there, but I'd rather have them both available.
Cool, thanks, Leach.
Thank you, guys.
One more question in the room,
Are
yeah.
you tempted to throw in Sasha that the number 10 role, because so many have been talking? I mean, I've been also seeing people on TV that he must supposed to play in that role because it's got so many abundance of creativity instead of Manile Bok. Yes, Manile Bok got this variation in terms of also kicking on the field of play. So what is your thinking? That does it create a headache for you?
To have those players on our books is fantastic, but you know, assuming Mani came back late this week, assuming Sasha is concussed, which I've got no reason to doubt he's not. You know, we needed both. You know, we needed Sasha this week. We're going to need Mani next week. If Sasha's out, it's a headache. They're both great players. Sasha can cover us elsewhere, but I do think he wants to play for us. That's week by week, I'm afraid.
Okay, Maveen must ask
Yeah,
Dan a
just
question.
sorry, Dan, we haven't asked you a question. Dan, just in terms of what do you think for next week, what do you think you guys need to fix? Sort of, you have a short turnaround, you're playing Toulon, obviously it's a different competition, but what can you fix in a short space of time going ahead for next week?
I don't think there's much that we have to change. I think when you get off to a good start, we didn't get off to a good start this today, and we were chasing the game the whole time, pushing passes and then making mistakes, and obviously we weren't clinical enough. But I'm sure the guys will bounce back. You know, it's a team that can fight, and I'm sure we've got the right group together that will take us to the end of the tournament still. Hey guys, Ross has got his hand up. This is the last question. Yes, Ross. Ross, you there? Okay, cool.
Cheers.
We're over. Thanks, guys.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Ross.
Sorry about that, thanks. Dobbo, obviously, you know, you guys have been here before. Last season was also not the greatest start. Injuries building up, you know, it's a really difficult situation that you guys find yourself in, you know. How do you sort of pick yourself up from this? And, you know, do you think it almost helps going into the Champions Cup in that you almost don't really need to lift the players, all of a sudden a massive shot position, you know, coming?
Yeah, I think today gave me hope, bro. I know we're sitting here in the pool of defeat, but you know, I know they had Eben and Boggy didn't play, but I could give you 5 Springboks. Kitsoff, Herbert, Fourie, Roos, Willemse. To come here like that and fight like we did, it gives me hope about the team. I just thought I saw a lot of our DNA out there. Other days those aren't all going to go down like that. I think we're I feel like confident, like Dan says, we can put together a proper run now. As those guys come back on strength, you know, like someone, sorry, another Springbok there. I don't think many teams in the world can sit quite comfortably without five or six Springboks. You know, so to come here and do what we've done actually in a funny way, I think what are the bookies before the game, -10 or something like that, comes down to a foul knock on a few phases before we lose it. So probably more positive than good, and a good place for us to launch from now. But the reality is just the sheer pressure of having to accumulate log points now is important. But Toulon next week, it's a game we're going to go and enjoy and play it and take it on. I don't think there's pressure. The pressure now is really URC, but that doesn't mean we bail on Heineken Cup. It means we go and attack it and enjoy it and try everything and play. And, you know what I mean? What comes will come. A couple of weeks' time back in the URC, that's when there is proper pressure for us.
Cool. Thank you very much, everyone.